Big stories, big views, only from Local Sky 3.
How many times do you have a conversation with someone, a friend, your spouse, your next door neighbor, and you say, if only I had more time? It seems like all of us are really running around all the time trying to cram more into our day than we really have hours in it. Robin Blankenship sees that firsthand. She is back on the show. She has Next Chapter Transitions. Good to see you.
Thank you. Good to see you again.
I think I would put that at the top of my list, that need for more time. Seems like the more we cram in, the less time, of course, we have, and we're busier than ever. So the last time you were here, you were talking about the ways you can help with people when they're transitioning from home to an independent living facility or even assisted living community. But you're now using this for people who are just moving in general, home to home, working closely with realtors, right?
Yeah, I think that what happened, this started really during COVID because a lot of senior living communities were kind of putting things on hold, or people were scared to make that move. And so we had this sort of sprang up out of what we already do, having two couples that are both working, that don't, they have got important jobs, or they just don't want to take the time on their vacation to deal with all this, and started managing moves for people other than seniors, because a lot of it, although with seniors there's really special issues involved. But the other skills are very transferable.
Right.
Being able to help them, pack and manage the movers and supervise everything and unpack everything and helping them get things set up where they don't have to take that week of vacation.
Listen, I mean, most of us have said at one point, I will never move again, simply because it is so taxing mentally and emotionally. So let's say that it was me and I said, Robin, come help me, please, I'm desperate. Would you come to my house? Or would you work directly with the realtor? Would you work with me or the realtor?
It depends kind of where you are in the process, but what works really well, where we've seen a lot of success, is partnering, and I'm doing more and more with realtors on the front end, where we'll say, obviously we come meet with you about what you're needing, but we will go in and the realtor will walk through with us and kind of do room by room and tell, and we make a lot of notes. Take these pictures down over here. Let's take this chair out and configure the room this way.
For staging purposes.
For staging purposes. So we do a lot of the staging using what you have. So we're not bringing in outside furniture, but it saves a little money on that end, but it can make such a difference if you have a good realtor giving guidance on that and we execute it.
Right.
And there's always things to declutter. That's what a lot of it is, and it's not clutter as an insult. We all just live in our homes,
right? And
you have a lot of things sitting around and lots of pictures, and sometimes you do have a lot of clutter in certain circumstances. So it runs the gamut on the amount of that, but to be able to come in and help get that ready. I can get a house with a lot of clutter that we have. I think we have some pictures, and it shows, that was done in a week, less than a week, and pictures were done, it was on the market, and it sold by the next week.
And you know what else is helpful with that is that you don't really see your own clutter when you're the homeowner. So if the realtor says to you, let's get your living room area cleaned up and make it less cluttered, you might move 6 or 7 things, but it's not even touching it.
Or you feel bad because you like the way you've decorated, and it feels like home, and it's kind of, you take it personally a lot of times.
Right.
That, well, I like it. It's not about that. You're trying to get a clean palette. And so that side of things, we do like to work with realtors, and realtors like to work with us because we can get things done much smoother, easier for the clients, and it lets them do their job.
If you are lucky enough that you're selling your house and you already know where you're going, which hopefully you would, can they also ask you to go to that new house and you can sort of help them get a head start of an idea on what they're going to want to do when they're there?
Yes. We talked about last time that with seniors, when you're moving into a small space, it is critical that you floor plan and have every inch, because the inches make a big difference on what things might fit. But we also do different levels of detail in floor planning in new spaces, and it might just be, I need to look at kind of this room where I'm just not sure how things are going to fit, or if I need to purchase a new piece here or there, should I even take this with me and bother paying to have it moved? And so we do that floor planning for clients that aren't seniors as well, in homes. And a lot of times, we don't need to build the whole home out. It's just finding out so that once we get there on move day, we know what's going to be there, we know what's going to fit, and you won't have a surprise and have to pivot at at the last moment.
I'm
It makes
try-
it smoother.
I'm trying to remember when we talked the last time, you kind of had your own personal experience with this, right? With your parents?
I did, and then the moving part of things, I moved myself from a very large home to, I would say a normal sized house in April. And if I had not had, I hired my team.
Did you really?
And if I had not had, and it was really interesting to be a client, but I was able to really experience the whole downsizing process, letting things go, decluttering my home. And I'm a neat freak, I'm a professional organizer.
Yeah.
But even then, I had to take things out, make it a clean palette. My realtor walked me through all of that. And then they packed, they helped me unpack. It was all done. Otherwise, I'm running a business, I have kids. This would have been drug out for weeks if it was just up to me to unpack all of that. So I got to feel the benefit of that, as well as having had my parents go through downsizing.
I did not know that part of your story, but I think I'm so glad you were able to share it, because that means that you can also relate to the emotional side of this for people. Because I know you had said last time that that's part of what you so enjoy with the work you do, is that you're helping with a need, yes, but you're really delicate
Yeah, the
in
empathy.
the way you help it.
The empathy is so important, and even people going through. There's a lot of times it may not be two people working together. It may be somebody going through a divorce, and having to they don't need this big house and they can't afford it, or whatever the reasoning is, need to make a move, and that is like you already have so much on your plate emotionally, and then you're having to make all these decisions, and it's very helpful to invest in having someone that we know what we're doing help you through that process.
So is the right order of things, if you're in the market to sell, would they contact you directly or ask their realtor to contact you?
Usually, if you want to contact us, we can set up to coordinate with your realtor.
Okay.
Calling us, like I talked about last time with seniors, anytime you're selling a home, calling us sooner rather than later is always better, because it lets us have more flexibility on what we can do and make it smooth, as opposed to coming in, we're about to put the house on the market. We can really help with a lot of that.
Got it.
So it's not takes that stress off of you.
Well, you've put new meaning on the phrase, I'm not just the owner, I'm a client.
Yeah,
right?
exactly.
That's so fun.
Exactly.
So Next Chapter Horizons, her name is, Next Chapter Transitions, my apologies, on Ocoee Street, but she'll travel anywhere where you are.
Yes,
we
work all around the Chattanooga and surrounding areas, into North Georgia, Cleveland, kind of that whole area. So we've got a great team and are able to work with a lot of different clients at the same time.
So there is their phone number, 615-9500. It is Next Chapter SeniorTransitions.com. She can use these same skills for anybody, really, to make life a lot easier, because your next transition should be a happy one.
It should.
Thank you.
Thank you so much. I appreciate it. Thanks, Julie.
Around here, we look out for each other. It's one of the best things about the communities we call home. Meet the local people from across our area who are making a difference. Fridays at 6 on Local 3 News, and always online at local3news.com.
Hi, it's Sayla, top dog at Crown Subaru. Looking for a doggone great deal on a certified pre-owned vehicle? Our selection is off the leash. Tons of inventory to choose from, and